Hi, this is Mika with Leap Taken, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things craft related, um, witchy, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. Okay, so today's topic is how to be a good witch. Um, Now, a good witch. Let's talk about that before I go too much further. So, a good witch is not meaning an opposite of being bad or evil. So, more like how to be good at being a witch. Um, so, I'll jump into it right now with that being said. First, I'm going to have a sip of my lemon tea. Refreshing. Um, First thing is develop, and I have a list here. I wrote some things down so I can stay on track. So, the first thing is develop your own moral compass. Why is that important? Because if you are doing magics or spells or intention work or whatever you want to call it, one for yourself, you need to know. I don't want to say what your limits are, but low key, what your limits are. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to have happen to get what you want? So that's what I'm saying about moral compass. Here's a good example. You know your mom has a policy, a life insurance policy, right? And she's been sick, and you kind of, depending on your moral compass, if you want to do spell work to kind of rush her along, I'll add some more complexity to the situation. She's suffering. She's in pain all the time. She's suffering. She's on her deathbed. And, you just want her to go ahead and be taken. One, it resolves your issue you're having. Let's say you're in debt. You've got money issues. She's got this money. Once she passes on, it'll help you to get your life in order. And your mom's suffering. And you hate seeing her like that. And you know she doesn't want to be like this. So that's moral compass. You add some magic in there. Are you going to help her die? Or are you going to, put that energy out there for her to just die, not die violently, but, peacefully in her sleep, whatever. You're going to put that kind of energy out there. And that's just one of those things. You don't think about stuff like that. I do, but you probably don't think about stuff like that. But I think like this. I write. I like writing stories, so I think of the offbeat kinds of what if scenarios that no one said. Nobody, absolutely nobody asked about that, and I just thought of it. But then love spells. Let's take it to something a little more attainable. Love spells. What is your moral compass on that? Are you someone who believes that people have free will, and you shouldn't infringe upon their free will, so you're trying to make someone love you, So know where you stand. Know what from my extreme situation, down to a simple love spell type thing, or especially when you're talking about money, as well. I think money. What is your moral compass? Because I say do your spell work and don't worry about the when, who, how. But it depends on what you're doing. If you're hoping that armored truck turns over, there's an armored truck in front of you on a highway, and you were like putting serious intention, like, I wish this truck just roll over and the door pop open, I just take the money and just drive off. And who hasn't thought like that, right? But no. The thing is, though, there's drivers, there's people, or at least there's usually two drivers, right, or two people in the car. They might be hurt. Maybe you say, oh, well, hopefully they're not that hurt. Like, no, come on. Also that's not your money. That's, some other people's money. So moral compass. Let's, figure it out. I just gave some real offbeat examples because I like, really think about this. What is your moral compass? What are you willing to do, or what are you willing not to do for magic's sake, or for the craft? The other thing is learning to be honest with yourself. So what does that mean exactly? Being honest with yourself in a sense that knowing what you really want, understanding deep down, if I am manifesting or doing spell work for a new car, okay, I don't have a job. I can't afford a car payment. I don't have any real income coming in. I get money from this person, or I get this, or I have a couple dollars I saved up, but I don't have any money. I also don't really want to work, but I want this new car, brand new car. I want this expensive sports car. Are we being honest with ourselves? Is this what we want to focus our energy on? Maybe we instead want to be honest with ourselves and focus our energy on creating a lifestyle that maybe doesn't have us working a traditional job but still earning income or being taken care of. Pick or choose, whatever one. But I probably wouldn't go straight to the sports car. And that's not having an honest dialogue with yourself about what are my wants versus my needs, and what's really going to feed me right now. Like, when I say feed, I mean what's going to feed my soul, my well-being. Is that sports car that's going to give me gratification, but I can't maintain this car at all. So it could be taken away, or it'll stop working. Be honest with yourself. Another thing, as far as how to be a good witch, learning to have some respect for the universal system, the process that is the universe. So I'm talking about the stuff where you say, oh, well, the days of the week, there's certain days of the week where your magic or your spells work better, or days of the week you should perform certain spells on, right? There are certain times of the moon phases that are best to do certain types of spell work, certain types of magic, certain types of intentional work. Also, Sabbaths, holidays. There's certain times. We're coming up on the biggie. Halloween, Samhain. We're coming up on that big one, and that's a great time if you want to, talk to the deceased, talk to your loved ones who've passed on, or communicate that with them in some kind of way, or just show reverence. If you want to set up an altar, ancestor altar, for the first time, that's a great time to do it around that time. There's certain times that things make more sense to do. It's not saying you can't do it any other time, because trust me, I have. It does mean that maybe you get more bang for your buck if you do it on that day. Prime example, yesterday, I've been in a creative rut. So I wanted to do a spell on myself to bring more creativity, passion, confidence, all of those things. Because to me, they all make sense. Creativity, confidence, passion, it's kind of all in the ball to me. Bring that out in me, because across the front, my crafting projects, not witchcraft, paper crafting, I do craft stuff. My writing, all of it. I just kind of felt a little, and I think it was the move and getting, acclimated to a new environment and all the unpacking I did. I was physically tired, hormonally just off kilter, because I decided, hey, this is a good time to try this other hormone that I needed to take. Let's do this in the middle of a move, where moves are most stressful times, and for most families or people, it was when you're moving. So that was when I did it. So I was just off anyway. So I'm okay now, and I did this spell for the creativity, confidence, passion. Concurrently, I didn't want the energy to be manic and frenetic, so I also did, and this is candle spells that I did. I also did, for peace, I did another candle work for peace. And then I burned specific herbs, because I wanted to add another layer of luck and abundance. And abundance is monetary, yes, always, but also abundance of just more of the same, more of it, an overflow of creativity, of passion, and, confidence, and of peace, peace of mind. It doesn't mean nothing bad happens. It doesn't mean I don't go through things. It just means there's a certain level of peace that I'm maintaining while being creative, while experiencing challenges, while being passionate. you know? And I'm gonna tell you something. I woke up this morning and I had more in I was still tired, you know, I wake up pretty early. I wake up like 5 in the morning. So I woke up and I was tired a little more than usual, but my mind was active and I was like, you know what? Have a cup of tea. No, I had decaf coffee this morning. I wanted decaf. So have a cup of decaf coffee. I'm trying to watch that caffeine intake. I don't want artificial uppers. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me get up and go to the gym. And I did, and I went to the gym. Best gym experience. It's the first time I went to the gym where I live now, and I love it. So that was exciting and invigorating, and you know, those what do they call them? Endorphins release, so you feel like really good. So I felt even more energized. So happy I skipped the real caffeine. And I came home. I had did some housework. I start putting together some notes and things like that for my writings. And of course, I'm now doing this video. So it's been good. It's been good. Good day. The spell is working. It's not a one-day thing. It keeps going, so it's working. But yeah, so back to what I was talking about, because I kind of went on a whole tangent there for a second. But respect the workings of the universe. You know, the whole point. Oh my God, I'm so crazy. The point of me bringing up this spell that I did that worked so great is because I did it on a Tuesday. And Tuesdays are great for doing spell work for passion, confidence, courage, all of those sort of self things, ambition, all of that sort of stuff, and peace. Tuesdays are good for that. So, and Tuesdays are usually associated with the color red. So I used a red candle for my passion, confidence, creativity candle spell, and I used a blue candle for my peace, because again, I like to layer my spells. That way, well, from my experience, that way I get better results. Let me fix that. I get better results when I do that because I'm sort of, it's like a program. If I don't, anybody watches this do any kind of computer programming, software programming, it's like, well, if this happens, then that, else this, you know, where this happens. So anyway, it's a whole logic that's how I think about it, doing my spell work. So I layer my spells. And I write everything down in my book, Shadows, because I may not remember all this. But anywho, so I did all that, and I did it on a Tuesday. And yes, I think it does matter that I did it on a Tuesday versus any other day. I think that it made it work even faster. So there's that. But seriously, you should try, when possible, to respect the flow of the universe and the predefined days that sort of in a craft are accepted as do this at this time, do this at this time of day, or the Sabbath, or whatever, you know, full moon, whatever, the first quarter moon, whatever. Really try to do that. And a fun way to kind of get more in tune with that is start getting creative, find spells. You don't have to follow a spell you find in a book or anything like that verbatim. Change it up, change the ingredients, you know, get an encyclopedia of herbs, understand candle magic and the colors and what they mean. You can swap it out. If you have nothing but a white candle, you can use that. Carve your intention on the candle. Use oils. If you don't have a lot of essential oils, you know what I've done in a pinch? I have taken olive oil with herbs. It's like cinnamon for a money spell. I've taken olive oil and I've taken cinnamon and I, you know, make a little paste and I use that to anoint my candle. And I've had really positive success with that. When I just, it wasn't a money thing I couldn't afford. I didn't have it and I wanted to do the spell now. You know, this is the time. And I realized, oh, I don't have, you know, this or that. So there you go. You know, improvise. But anyway, take a spell, maybe from a book of spells or something, and you know, find spells ahead of time, at least a handful that maybe you can do, and tie them to the moon phase. So you're going to plan this out. Now you are talking, or you're listening to a planner. I'm somebody who seriously plans. Everything I'm talking about and writing is in this planner book that I have. So I'm one of those crazy people who writes all that stuff down. But if you want to get crazy with me, try that. Seriously, give it a try. Do about three. Okay, if very minimal, three. Make sure you have a spell to do on a new moon. They don't have to be dramatic and crazy. Just a couple little things you got to do, something you know you have. If it's just salt and water, go with that. But write out a spell or something like that. Just keep it low key, like new moon. So you let me think. New moon to me is like starting off new projects, kicking off new ventures, new ideas, moving, trips, bringing, anything like that, that type of energy. So do a spell for that one. Full moon to me is more, I don't know, I use my full moon energy and it depends. I see, again, it depends on the astrological piece of it. Where's the moon and what sign? So depending on what sign it's in, find a spell that might correspond with that and see if you get better results. Just do one, because I know I'm sounding like I'm telling you to do a whole lot of stuff. Just try one for the full moon. How about that? Just pick one spell and try for this full moon and see how that works out and see if you get results. Believe in it. Don't do it, we'll see. Believe in it, seriously. You would be surprised if you actually follow the universal cycle. So, okay, and the other thing, I'm move on now. The other thing is the dreaded when it doesn't work. Don't dwell. Move on. Try again. Revise. I've already given an example. Once again, I had talked about my whole situation moving into this house, and I wanted a different place, and a deal did not go through. It didn't work out. They said no. They gave us a lot of money, so it was going to be a no. The point is, I didn't get the place. So, but I got what I really wanted because this was what I should have gotten. This is what I asked for. This is what I put the energy out for. So the other place had to be pushed out the way so I could have this. When your spells don't work, rather than dwelling on them, develop as best as you can a deeper sense of belief. You have got to be an evangelical Christian crazy with it. Like one of those right wing was like, no matter what you say, you ain't supposed to be gay. Like you got to be that crazy with it. You got to go hardcore with this and truly believe in your stuff. Believe in your work. Believe in your magic. Believe in your spell. Excuse me. Allergies are better, but this is what I'm talking about when I start talking for too long. This is why I have the tea. Yeah, but have a deep sense of belief that your stuff is going to work. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal anyway, but we're talking about how to be a good witch. So you got to believe in your own magic. And the last thing is, which kind of piggybacks off what I just said, is truly believing in every step of the way of what you're doing. This is starting from gathering the supplies. Your energy as you pick up these supplies and gather them matter. If you are woe is me, down and out because a situation is just not working out the way you want, and that's why you're about to do the spell so it can work out in your favor, you need to put those feelings aside and focus on the energy you want to use in this spell. It starts when you start gathering. It starts as you start writing things down. It starts when you start thinking about what you're going to do, what spell you're going to pick or what spell you're going to create. It all starts there. So you got to get your mind right. You got to get in a sense of receiving of what you're putting out there from the door. So you got to, when I mean truly believe, you have to truly believe in your ability to make magic and your spell working. You have to believe you can do this. You can manifest this item, thing, or whatever into your life. It's real. It's going to happen. Why wouldn't it happen? I'm working with my energy. I'm made of energy. I'm a being. Everything around me is energy. I am creating a manipulation within energy to bring this to me. Because that's really all you're doing. You're manipulating energy to bring it to you so that or something works out in your favor. So those are my list of steps of how to be a good witch. And I also want to add, which I didn't write down, I just thought about it. Another thing I would just say on how to be a good witch is knowing it's okay if you're not. Meaning, it's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you bust out laughing and you're saying something because it just feels so silly. It's okay to have a sense of humor. It is okay to forget the moon phase and you just completely forgot about it. It's okay that that happened. It doesn't make you less of a witch. It doesn't make you less of someone who practices witchcraft. It just means you forgot. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. Um, so yeah, you're still a good witch if you forget it's a full moon on Friday, the 13th, because it is a full moon on Friday the 13th. I think I saw in a book it said the 14th. That's the 13th. That's that night. But yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. If you just watch this and I told you and you forgot come Saturday. It's still a full moon on Saturday. You can celebrate then. So, with that, thank you for watching. And if you want to be a good witch, follow these steps. If you have more steps, that's awesome. You can share some in in the comments. I'm game to learn a little bit more information too. So, thanks again for watching.